Hello everyone, I am Anuja Shrivastava and today I am just going to start the next chapter of class 8 chemistry and the name of this chapter is water. So the water, it is a very important component for our life and for our survival. Okay, and why water is important? So as you all know why water is important, but I am also going to discuss the properties of water, that what is the reason behind that the importance of water, and water is very necessary for sustain the life. Okay, so we all are knowing water is the one of the most important source available on the earth. It is most important source. And the water, it is required by the plants, by the animals and by the all the living organisms to sustain the life. That means what is the importance of water? It is important to sustain the life. Another thing, it is used for agriculture. Then other reason, it is required for seed germination. Water is the medium to transport the minerals within the plant. That means the minerals are transported with the help of the water to the plant. Another thing, it maintains and regulate the body temperature of us. ये हमारी body का temperature भी regulate और क्या करता है? It also just regulate and maintain the body temperature of us. And all the living organisms and the other one, they contains the amount of water in it. If we are going to discuss about the human body, that means the living things. So if we are going to discuss about the amount of water which is present in the human body, so it is about 70% of our body is made up of the water. If we are going to discuss about the elephant, so about I think 75 to 80% of elephant's body is also made up of the water. If we are going to discuss about the fruits and vegetables which contains water in it, just like the watermelon, just like the juicy fruits, they also contains water in it and they are having a different percentage which they are having. So let us see whatever the sources of water, that means the source of water. So if we are going to discuss about the source of water on the earth, so we are having the three sources of water. First is the rainwater, second is the surface water, and the third one is the groundwater. That means we are having these three sources of water on the earth. So as we all know, the rainwater, it is the purest form of water. Okay, that means the rain showers on the earth, so that water is considered as the purest form of water. But when the first rain of the season is there, that contains the impurities and some chemicals in it, but after that first raining, whatever the rain shower is there, that is the purest form of the water. Now the surface water, that means the water which is present on the surface. So surface water, it can be categorized into the two category. First category is as the saline water, and the second category is considered as the fresh water. Okay, now if we are going to discuss about the saline water, So it consists of sea and oceans water. And if we are going to discuss about the fresh water, so pond, river, lakes, they consist of the fresh water. Now why the sea and the oceans water are considered as the saline water? Why they are considered as the saline water? Because they consist the salt in it, they are having they contain insoluble salt. But this insoluble salt, if this type of water is consumed by the living being, it is consumed by the humans, so it is very harmful. So one process is performed, and that process is known as the desalination. Desalination. And what is the meaning of this desalination? It is the process by which the removal of salt from the sea water and the lakes takes place. So this process is known as the desalination. Okay. Now the third type of water is the groundwater. So what is the groundwater? So groundwater is the water when the water which falls as the rain and they seeps, they percolate from the surface, and they are just going to collect in the under the ground. That water is known as the groundwater, and that groundwater is also utilized by us by using the tube well, boring and the other ways. Okay. So now let us see whatever the physical properties of water. Physical property of water. So the first physical property of water is the water is colorless and odorless. It is colorless and odorless. Okay, so if I am written here colorless, odorless, okay, that means ना तो इसमें कोई smell होती है और ना ही इसमें कोई color होता है. Okay, and they are also considered as the tasteless. It is also considered as the tasteless. Okay. So if I am written here tasteless, so once we are drinking the water, so we are just also take the taste. So why the taste is there? Because of the insoluble some salt and mineral present in the water. Okay. Now water is a thing which consists in the three states. That means it exists in three states. That means all the three states of matter is exist in the water. At room temperature it will be liquid. At the below temperature, that means at 0 degree centigrade it will be freezes and become ice, and at the 100 degree centigrade it will boil and become the vaporized. That means it consists in all the three states. Now it is having the high specific heat and latent heat. It is high specific heat and latent heat. So what is the meaning of a specific heat and latent heat? So in physics I already taught you about the specific heat and the latent heat, but once I am just also going to remind these both the term. So first, if we are going to discuss about the specific heat, the specific heat it is the specific heat of any substance is the heat which is required by it to just raise the temperature. It is required by the substance to just raise the temperature. It's until its mass of 1 degree Celsius. That means कि 1 degree Celsius के mass तक जो temperature raise होगा, that is the latent specific heat of energy. And if we are going to discuss about the latent heat of energy, So latent heat of energy of substance, it is defined as the amount of heat required by it. That means the amount of heat required by any substance to change its state. उसके state को change करने के लिए जो required होगा, that is known as the latent heat of energy. Okay. Now let us see the another physical property of the water, and it is very important, and you were also studied this in the class 7, the anomalous behavior of water. So the meaning of anomalous is abnormal or unusual. Okay, it is the abnormal and unusual. So what is the meaning of this? Suppose this I had taken the puddle of water. Okay, now at room temperature, that means approximately 27 degrees centigrade, if we are going to start cooling it, अगर इसको हम cool करते हैं तो क्या होगा? Cooling make the things contract, so it will be contract. That means temperature will be decrease, the arrow downside showing the decreased temperature. Temperature decrease कर रहे हैं तो it will contract and it will become like this puddle of water, smaller. Okay, suppose this is the bigger one. Okay, now till 4 डिग्री सेल्सियस, जब हम 27 डिग्री सेल्सियस से 4 डिग्री सेल्सियस तक हम इसको ठंडा कर रहे हैं तो इट विल बी कॉन्ट्रैक्ट. बट अगर अगेन इसको हम क्या करेंगे, टेम्परेचर को डिक्रीज करेंगे, सो व्हाट विल हैपन इन द नेक्स्ट स्टेज, अगेन इट विल बी कॉन्ट्रैक्ट. इसको वापस से कॉन्ट्रैक्ट होना चाहिए, बट इट विल नॉट गोज टूवर्ड्स द कॉन्ट्रैक्शन. इट इज नॉट गोइंग टूवर्ड्स द expansion, it will be expand. That means again it will be expand, and this behavior of water is known as the anomalous behavior of water. That means कि एक नॉर्मल टेम्परेचर से 4 डिग्री सेंटीग्रेड तक अगर हम इसको ठंडा करेंगे तो ये कॉन्ट्रैक्ट होगा, बट इफ फ्रॉम 4 डिग्री सेंटीग्रेड टू इट विल कॉन्ट्रैक्ट टिल 0 degree Celsius, so it will show expansion, and this type of behavior of water is known as the anomalous behavior of water because of this. Okay, now that means we can say the 4 degree centigrade the molecules of water is at the densest position, क्योंकि यहीं पर contract ज़्यादा हो रहा है. Okay, now this is all about the physical properties of the water, and rest of the topic of this chapter, that means the chemical properties and the other things, I will discuss in the next video. Till then, bye bye, thank you.